All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with four, week four of Road to 345. And also, I think we're going to make something fun now, too. It's going to be day two of including straight leg bounds in the warm up until Sam notices. Make sure to keep adding him in the comments. Thank you, guys. Keep the intro nice and short today. Have a lot to talk about later, but get rocking and rolling, man. Here we go. Okay, guys, as you can see, we are on the infamous LeBron Hill. We're going to name it LeBron Hill so it serves as a reminder every day. Every day that I'm out here, I'm better than him. Okay, anyways, speaking of LeBron Hill, I have a quick little story time before I get back to my sprints. So, I actually went to elementary school right over there, right across the street from this hill. And when I would walk to school at it'd probably be around like 7-ish in the morning, because sometimes I'd go early because I was in student council. Anyways, I would see this one guy, this tall, slender, white guy, and he'd be on this hill, and he'd go all the way from the bottom all the way to the top, just straight strides, running so effortlessly. It was actually insane. This guy was like fucking gliding on this hill, and I was always so mesmerized by this guy because it just looked incredible. He was, like I said, he was tall, very slender. He was probably around like 6'4", but again, full extension, full stride. Like even elementary school Julian knew like that's how you should be fucking running. Like that guy looked, to this day, it still blows my mind. And then one random day, I never saw him again. And from that point, I just never saw him doing sprints again. And I always thought in my head, I was like, oh, I wonder what that guy's up to, all this stuff. Because again, I was just so amazed. I was just fucking flabbergasted. Like that word? I do too. But yeah, I was flabbergasted by this guy. And then I think I was in high school. Yeah, high school. I came down here for a cross country practice because I used to ran cross country for a year, and I got here a little early. Now imagine the scene: gray, cloudy skies, a nice little mist. The sun's not even out yet; it's pretty dark. But guess who I see? I see him. He has no hair. He shaved his head. He has a thick gray beard. Actually, not gray. It's salt. It was like salt and pepper. It was like gray mixed in with the black. And he was back out here doing those sprints, man. And he looked the exact same. And it's crazy to think how much of an impact that guy had left on me, because I saw him out here working, didn't talk to anyone, didn't waste no time like I am with these little videos. Just out here working, man. Out here working and out here doing it well, looking good while doing it. But yeah, it's crazy to think how someone I never talked to, never even interacted with, really had such a big, profound impact. Something that I still remember to this day, kind of a core memory. But yeah, fuck LeBron. I'm trying to fucking work to beat that guy, man. Anyways, thanks for listening to Story Time. Get back to these sprints and jumps. All right, guys, you guys are going to join me for the one clip of tuck jumps. We got 10. You guys are joining me because I forgot one important detail about the magical man running on LeBron Hill. This guy did it barefoot. And like I said, too, with the mist, with the fog, with the morning dew, I still never saw that man slip. Guy's practically Jesus in my eyes, freaking floating up LeBron Hill. I know you're probably watching, Mom. Thank you. I love you. And I know you're probably cracking up because you remember this guy, too. This guy was a beast, man. Anyways, let's get these 10 jumps in. Here we go. Checkmate, LeBron. Okay, guys. Bootleg Sam Sulek is back. I'd also like to just touch on it again. I'm very, very well aware that this is a very similar, if not the exact same style. But deal with it. You're watching the video anyways. We're on a little drive to work right now. A little drive to my internship. You might also be surprised to see that the video is kind of short. I think I'm gonna start to do one video per session now. One video per session, or one video per 2 to 3 sessions max, just to see if that changes anything up with engagement from other people, from random people. So yeah, just give me some feedback if you guys like a little bit of the shorter form videos. I also, sorry I don't have the mic in right now. I'm kind of saving the battery with it. So if the audio's poopy, sorry. I actually ended up ordering a new set of mics because I couldn't figure out how to charge my current ones. I think my current ones are broken because I got them straight off of Temu. So can't expect much from a Temu mic. It is what it is. So let's see, what's the topic for today's Car Talk? We already talked about LeBron Hill and the legacy that random man left. I think today I want to touch on the idea of integrity. That's something I talked to my mentor about this morning, and I think it's something that I've been thinking about, maybe not subconsciously, that would make no sense, something a little bit indirectly, because I never had thought, like the word integrity hadn't been circulating through my mind the past couple of months. But when he presented the meaning of integrity, the idea that you'll behave and act in a way that's true to yourself, regardless of any outside influences, actions, or forces, made me kind of clicked in my head. I was like, okay, this has been something that I've really been thinking about a lot lately. And so it just makes me touch back. So I coach youth soccer, and I'm obviously not going to say the kids' names on here, but there's a kid on the team who is a very sweet kid. I know he is a very good person. You could see that he's working hard as well, but simply flat out, he's just not up to par with everyone else. He's kind of a liability when it comes to him playing on the field, and it's become kind of hard for me to see, hard for me to coach and navigate through, because obviously I want every kid to be given the same attention, but at the same time,
other kids have a little bit more, what's the word? Maybe a little bit more grit. They have a little bit more tenacity with what they do and the intention of what they do, whereas I feel this kid is a little bit timid, maybe a little bit shy. And I don't want to put that label on him, but it's kind of what's emerged, you know? And it made me reflect a little bit back on how I was when I was his age. You know, I was fortunate enough to play sports at a fairly high level with both soccer and baseball. And that was never always the case, you know. I was actually, I wasn't on the all-star team on baseball. I wasn't playing club soccer. I wasn't a very high level or promising athlete when I was his age. It kind of took some time for things to click, you know. And it was around a year or two after what their age, so around age 12, you know. And as most people know, that's kind of around puberty time when you actually start growing. And at that point, things started to click. I started to excel in sports, finally made all-star teams in baseball, finally developed and grew a lot in club soccer and became a player that had that trajectory, had that projection to be playing college soccer, and further high-level soccer. But again, I think the most beautiful thing about that was I didn't change who I was in that entire journey. I think my parents did a good job of instilling the ideas of working hard and just overall being a good person, just instilling good character within me. And that character, the biggest thing is that character stays with you for the rest of your life. That character is what guides you, is what dictates and what eventually leads to who you become. And that ties back to your integrity. And I hope that this kid can have a similar path that I did. I hope that he could grow, that one day these things will just suddenly all click and he'll excel and he'll kind of break through this little maybe rut that you might call it a rut, this little rut that he's in. So yeah, that's just something I really wanted to touch on. I wanted to touch on the idea of integrity, the idea that no matter what you're going through, no matter your internal or external circumstances, you should be unwavering with who you want to be, and you should always circle back and remember that. I think just those basic two, just being a good person and working hard, can carry you a long way. It's obviously not the only thing, but if you have those two things, it could really shape and be kind of that guiding hand to when you're kind of lost in life and you don't know what you want to do, or you don't know if what you're doing is the right thing. So yeah, that's just my little car talk today. I'm sure after this car talk, there's going to be plenty of other points that I didn't even think about, that I wish I would have talked about. But it is what it is. I can't do anything about it. And obviously there's especially in athletics, being a good person and working hard can only do so much. And sometimes you have to play the line with being a good person and establishing yourself and not letting down. I think some people might especially if they haven't had experience athletics, some people might view something as being mean or being a bad person. But ultimately, I think it's just not the same in athletics and in competition. I think a good example would be when you tackle someone, let's say in soccer, you tackle someone, they fall to the ground, they get injured. Someone might look at that aggression, that intent to not back down, to be very robust, to again establish yourself. Someone might look at that and say, that was really mean, why are you going to try to hurt someone? But deep down, you should understand that the intent is never to hurt anyone. The intent is just to let others know that they need to be ready for you. They need to understand that you are not going to back down, and if they do not step up and elevate themselves, they are going to get hurt. You're sending that message. But again, that's in a different sphere. That's, a different sphere, a different field from being a good person. I think you could do both. And I think sometimes that message gets a little bit lost. Sometimes people interpret these actions a lot differently, but it is what it is. You can't control what other people think. Again, you have to, touching back on the integrity, you have to have integrity. You have to be true to what you want to do. You have to be true to who you are. And at the end of the day, if you're in line with your morals and if you're in line with your beliefs, that's all you could really do. But yeah, going back again, there's probably plenty of more points that I wish I could have talked on, but I'm sure I'll think of them and I'll touch back on them with you guys again. But yeah, a little bit of a longer car talk today. I just want to express those little bit of ideas, and hopefully this little talk could connect, maybe resonate with some of you guys watching, and help give you a little bit more of an idea, a little bit more of a guiding hand with what you want to do going forward with your goals and your aspirations. But yeah, I think I'm just going to cut it off there. Thank you guys for tuning in for this video. We'll see how the formatting goes from now on. And yeah, I really appreciate all you guys that watch. It really means a lot. I think video editing, exercise, kind of general philosophical discussions about character and just general human development. I think that's something I've always been into. So what better not than to share that with other people, share that with my friends who I might not be able to talk to as much, or if some random stranger sees this on the video. I hope this could be something that potentially inspires you, or something that could help you shift the way you think or change the way you think. You know, I think it's always valuable to hear different perspectives and to not be complacent or content with your way of thinking. I know that's a little bit contradictory to what I said about integrity, but I think we should always be a little bit open-minded and always willing to grow. Yeah, I think that's all I got. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll catch you guys in the next video. We're going to be hitting leg day, baby! Lightweight! Hitting that leg day and upper body sesh, okay? Let's have a good rest of the week, okay? Peace.